Hi everybody, I'm Mark and I'm with SkyComm Connect. And I'm happy to be here today to talk to you and train you for using our hosted PBX system. So we have 3 sections today that we're going to go through, and we'll go through them relatively quickly. The first section is with the hard phone. The hard phone, I call it a hard phone. The reason I call it a hard phone is because your desk phone is something you can touch, you can feel it. It's hard, it's there. So section 1 is about the hard phone or your desk set. Section 2 is about the soft phone or your mobile app, okay? It's a program that runs on a cell phone, okay? Either on Android or on the iPhone. And the third section of our training today is on the SkyComm Connect portal that you can use to manage your telecommunications. And that portal's optional, it's not required, but it has some features that are very helpful, so I think you'll like it. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to share my desktop with you to look at a couple of things. And then after I share that desktop, we're going to go ahead and get a video camera actually pointed at a live telephone here, and I'll give you a little training on that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share the desktop. Okay. Right now you're seeing a photograph of our building. We're located in Columbia, Maryland. We're down here on the lower portion of this building. My office is right behind that post there that's holding up the building. So hello from my office. Now I'd like to show you a picture of the phone that I have on my desk here. Okay, this is a photograph that I've taken of the phone that's on my desk. And as you can see, it's a Yealink, is the brand of the telephone. And the phone has a color screen and it has buttons down here in the lower section of the phone. You notice there are no buttons around the color screen here. That's because this model is the T57W and it is a touchscreen model of the Yealink telephone. Many companies are using a touchscreen phone, but they're also using phones that also have buttons. I don't have one of those button phones on my desk today, but basically it's the same phone. They have the same features. They're both executive telephones. One just has a touchscreen and the other has buttons next to the screen that you can select to activate certain features. All right, so that's the phone that I have here. I want to also show you since when we get to the live phone, you're only going to see the top portion or the touchscreen portion of my phone. I wanted to go over what some of these buttons are below. But before I get to that, let me just talk to you about some things that you'll see on the screen. When a phone is available, nobody's using it. The icon will be green, okay? If somebody's using the phone, for example, a call's ringing into accounting here, or Matt's making a phone call out, or Valerie's talking, when any of those things are happening, the phone will be red. However, you can still call that phone just by pressing the button on the touchscreen or the corresponding button on the side of the non-touchscreen model. Okay, so just because it's red doesn't mean you can't call them. If they're on the phone, they'll get sort of a call waiting indication. Okay, over here, the red part 2 means that there's a call in the parking slot for part 2. And by the way, I should explain, because I do ask folks, do you know what park is? And sometimes people do and sometimes they don't. So let me just explain it. And you'll see this in just a minute. There's a hold button that you can use on a telephone, okay? And when you press that hold button, it places the call on hold. They hear the music on hold and the many messages that you have on your music on hold. But you have to resume that call by pressing the same hold button on the same phone that you place it on hold, okay? But if you use park, it's more like a public hold. Instead of the hold button, which is a private hold, the park button provides a public hold, meaning I can place a call in any one of these park buttons that's green. Okay, so if somebody's on the phone with me, I can press park 1, it will go red. And then I can say to down the hall, I can say, hey, Susan, you've got a call on park 1, or maybe it's because I need to get up and walk to another desk. I pick up the call on park 1. If anything that's red, I can pick up anywhere. Okay, so that's the difference between park and hold. So that said, let me just move us along to the buttons. Now, this is a picture of a phone that does not have a touch screen, okay? But what it does have are directional buttons and an OK button and an X for escape. It has these buttons so that you can move around on the menus, and you'll be able to do the same thing that a person with a touch screen could do. It's just that you need to navigate with the arrow buttons and directional buttons and the OK button. Okay. Now, this next picture here is a picture of my phone, my T57W. You notice it does not have directional buttons because it is a touch screen. Okay, but this first button here on the left is the hold button, which again is for private holding, meaning I press this hold button, it places a call on hold. I need to answer that phone again on this phone, press the hold button again to pick it up. Okay. This button to the right of the hold button is the transfer button. The way that we use that is when we're on the phone with somebody and we'd like to transfer it to somebody else. We press transfer, dial the extension number we want to transfer to, and then hit transfer again. Okay, we'll show some transferring in just a few moments when we go to the live video. The envelope button here is the button you use to check your voicemail. Now, sometime during your installation, you're going to receive an email from our technicians, and it's going to invite you to set up your voicemail PIN, and it's also going to invite you to set up a username and a password for accessing the mobile app and for using the portal. When you get this email, please respond to it as soon as you can, because the link's only good for 24 hours. Okay, so you need to click on that link within 24 hours to set up your username and password and your voicemail PIN. If for some reason you weren't able to respond within 24 hours, that's okay. Just contact the person in your organization that's responsible for the phone system, and they'll be able to send you out a new link. And if they haven't been trained how to do that yet, just ask them to give us the contact, and we'll be happy to take care of it for them. Okay. So that's the voicemail button. All right. This button at the bottom here is a rocker button. It has a minus and a plus. The minus is to lower the volume, and the plus is to raise the volume of something. There's 3 different things that it can raise or lower the volume on. First, if you're using the speakerphone, which is this button over here on the right, and you would like to raise or lower the volume of the speaker for the speakerphone, use the volume button. Okay. If you're using the handset, not the speakerphone, you're not on speakerphone, but you're actually talking on the handset, you can raise and lower the volume of the speaker in the earpiece with the volume button here. And finally, if you're not on a phone call at all, use this volume button to raise or lower the ringer on your phone. Okay, so it's a multi-use volume button. Over here on the right side, the set of buttons on the right, the first button here is the headset button. And the headset button can be used to turn your headset on and off. And by the way, if you have a model like a T57W or a T54W, your phone is wireless. It can be wireless, which means it can accept a headset that's a Bluetooth headset that you may use on your cell phone. It can accept many of those. And also it has the ability to connect to Wi-Fi. But this button here is what you would use for your headset, whether it's wired or whether it's a Bluetooth headset. The next button is the button to mute your microphone. Whether you're on speaker or on your handset, this mutes your microphone. The recycle image down here, it looks sort of like a recycling icon, is actually the redial button, which does more than just provide you with one number to call back, but it will, when you press it, it'll bring up a list in the screen of multiple numbers that you can call back. And finally, again, it's the speakerphone button in the lower right-hand corner. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you with these pictures. Now I'd like to go live to a hard phone so we can look at a few things. Okay, here we go. This is my telephone. This is live. So what you're seeing here now is live, and we're going to be able to make and receive calls and manage a few things here. So let me call somebody. I'm going to use, I have 3 phones in my office, the one that you're seeing, and 2 others. One's an accounting phone and one's the lobby phone. And I'm going to use these to practice a few things. But I would like to see if I can call, let me see if I can call Joe here. If I'm going to call him from one of these other phones, I'll call him from the accounting phone and watch what happens. You can see that right now the accounting is calling out. Joe's phone is ringing, and now it says talking. Hey Joe, how you doing? Okay, hey, you're on video. People are going to remember you forever. Okay, I'm going to drop your call. Thanks. Okay, so as you can see, when you have a call going, immediately the green icons turn red, and they give you an indication of what's happening: call out, incoming call, talking, this kind of thing, as we talked about before. Now, I'm going to now have a person call me here, and I'm going to use the accounting phone to call me, and I am 8318. So the accounting desk is calling me, and I'm going to go ahead and answer this. Okay, so now I have a call that is coming in from the accounting desk. I'm going to turn down their volume just a little bit. And so we're connected. And when I connected, it gave me some options down here at the bottom of what I could do with this call. Again, I can place it on hold. Okay, and I'm going to turn up their volume.
Our mission at SkyComm Connect.
Okay, so this is the accounting desk.
Next generation business.
Their phone's hearing the hold music, and when I resume it, they stop hearing the music and they hear me talking to them again. Okay, so that's a basic part, or that's a basic hold that you have to pick up on the phone. Now I'm going to show you how to do the park. Is all I need to do for the park is choose which one of these zones I can go in. I don't have to pick park 1 because it's the first one. I could pick park 3. So now that call is parked on park 3, and I'm going to pick it up on the third phone that I have here. And when I do, you'll watch that the park 3, the red there, will go to green. So I'm going to hit park 3 over on this phone. Hello, hello, hello. So that's how park works. It can be publicly picked up on a phone different from what the call was placed on park on. Okay. All right. So that's that. Now I'd like to do some transferring. Let me see if Val's going to be available now. I'm just going to call her. Just to make a phone call, I just press the extension.
Good afternoon, SkyComm Connect.
Hey Val, it's Mark. How you doing?
Hi, Mark. I'm well.
Are you good? Are you available for a couple of demonstrations?
Sure.
Okay, very good. So what I want to do here now is I would like to transfer Val through to the accounting phone. Okay, and in this case, I'm just going to blind transfer this. So I'm going to hit transfer, which means I'm not going to announce Val at all. I'm just going to send her through. All right, so I'm going to hit transfer, and I'm going to dial the accounting desk, and I'm going to hit blind transfer. And so now, Val, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so now Val's on the accounting desk. You'll notice nothing's happening on my screen. You don't see anything there, but she's talking to me on the accounting desk. Okay, hold on, Val, or hang up. I'll hang up, and I'll be calling you in just a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Now, for example, in this situation, let's see if I can get Val on the phone, and we're going to do assisted transfer, okay? Where you want to screen the call.
Hello, Mark.
Okay, so now I'm gonna send you through to the accounting desk, but I'm gonna talk to her first to see if she can take the call. Okay. And I am he and I am she. So you'll be hearing Holden when I press transfer, Val. Okay, now I'm going to go to the accounting desk, but this time I'm going to hit send instead of blind transfer. Okay, so 8315, and I'm going to hit send. And then it's calling the accounting desk for me to talk to them. So I'm going to pick this up. Hello, accounting desk. How are you? I can take the call. Thank you. So since they said they could take the call, I'm going to hit transfer. It says the transfer operation is complete. And you'll notice that you've got accounting and Valerie talking to each other here now. Okay. Now, Valerie's going to be I'm going to do one more test. So be ready. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Now, the other scenario would be where you call somebody and they say, can't take the call right now. Can you send them to my voicemail? What do we do in that circumstance? Okay. It's very much the same to the last call. So I'm going to go ahead and get Val on the phone.
Hello, Mark.
Okay, so I'm going to transfer you through, but they're not going to be able to take your call right now. So we'll end up sending the call to voicemail. So here we go. So I'm going to hit transfer. And I'm going to hit the accounting desk, 8315. I'm going to do send, not blind transfer, send. Okay. I hear the accounting desk ringing. I'm going to answer it. Okay. So I'm answering it. Hello. And so I'm asking from my side, can you take this call? Accounting desk says, I can't take it right now. So accounting desk just goes ahead and hangs up. It's not there anymore. But you'll notice Valerie's still on hold here. So I'm going to go ahead and resume her call. Hey, Val?
Yes.
You know, accounting cannot take your call right now. Can I send you to their voicemail?
Of course.
Okay. Now, Valerie's going to hear this, but here's the secret to sending to voicemail is all you need to do is, you know, the extension of accounting is 8315. To get to their voicemail box, just prepend it with the 7. So 7 and then the extension number 8315 will go directly to their voicemail. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to transfer and 78315, and then I'm going to blind transfer. And now Val is getting into the voicemail for that. Okay, so that's all that we need to see about transferring. Now I would like to do one more thing, and that's show you how to do a conference call. So I'm going to call Val.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, I'd like to do a conference call now, and I think that'll be the last time I need to get with you on this. Okay.
Okay, sure.
All right. So I've got Val on the phone now. She could have called me. I could have called her. Doesn't matter. I did call her. So I've got a call connected with Val. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to press conference. I'm going to conference in the accounting desk. Okay, so the accounting desk is now calling, and I'm going to answer the accounting desk. When the accounting desk answers, I say, hey, do you want to get on the conference call? They say yes. Then I hit conference again. Okay, you there, Val?
I'm here.
Okay. So Valerie and the accounting desk are both on here now, and I can kind of manage them a little bit. So for example, this first icon here will mute them. They're on the far end. It's muting their microphone. They can still hear me, but maybe they put me on hold and we're hearing music from that side, we can mute it, okay? But also if we wanted to have it so they're not hearing us, that would put them on hold, and they're gonna be getting hold music now, and they can't hear just the accounting desk and I talking, okay? So there's those options. And if I want to drop one of them, like the accounting desk, I just hit the X and I say, okay. And now it's just Val and I talking. So that's a simple how to use the conference. Now, I know this went kind of fast, and Val, you can go ahead and hang up.
Okay, bye-bye.
I know that this went kind of fast, but one nice thing about this video is you can rewind it and watch it again. But that's how you do transferring. That's how you do conference calls on this phone. Now, another thing I'd like to show you is this history button down here. So remember I talked about there's a redial button on the lower part of the phone. It opens up this, okay? It'll open up your calls that you've made or missed, the most recent ones. Now, you can sort by hitting missed calls. I can just see the ones that have been missed recently, okay? Or I can see calls that I've placed. So we can break them down however we want, but I'll just show them all. So to call somebody back that you may have already talked to, is all you need to do is, like, here's the accounting desk. I'm going to press it, and you're hearing in the background the accounting desk, okay, ringing, and I'm going to answer that. Okay, now I'll hang it up. That's all there is to calling back. And the other nice thing that I want to tell you about in here under history is, let's just say that you've got somebody that's calling you kind of like spam calls, and they keep calling from the same number, and you're sure that it's not somebody that you want to talk to regularly. Let's see. Well, here, let's just do the accounting desk. Even though I do want to talk to her, so I won't finish this, but I'm going to hit the I button. If you look up here, there's a blacklist option. So all I need to do is just hit blacklist, and then anytime the accounting desk calls, their call goes directly to voicemail. Okay, so that's kind of a feature that can be useful if you're getting bothered by folks. By the way, we do have a product available that's called Nomo Robo. And it's a very small monthly charge for the phone numbers that you have that are getting a lot of spam calls, and it keeps a database of known the spammers, and it really does a good job of cutting down if you're getting a lot of spam. So if you're interested in that, just contact your account representative here at SkyComm Connect, and they'll be happy to help you with it. Okay, so that said, let me go back to the main page here. That's history. Now, you see I've got a lot of buttons here with people's names on it. But if you want to have your whole organization on here and you've got more people than you've got buttons, never fear, because we have a directory button. And the directory button has a remote phone book. And in that remote phone book is every person that has a phone in your organization. Okay, so there you go. You will always be able to contact the people in your organization, even if you don't have any more programmable buttons on your phone. All right. Watch up here when I press the Do Not Disturb button. DND stands for Do Not Disturb. When I press this, it puts a sign up here that looks like a Do Not Enter sign, right, on the highway. And that's just to remind you, hey, your phone's on Do Not Disturb. Are you sure you want it on Do Not Disturb? Because your phone's not going to ring if it's on Do Not Disturb. That's what that sign's saying to you. And if you see that, you can decide, oh, I don't want to be on Do Not Disturb anymore, or I do. But to turn it off, Do Not Disturb, you just press a button again. Now, this is a pretty powerful feature, this Do Not Disturb button, because when you use it, even if you have let's say you've got a phone, a hard phone at your office, a hard phone at home, and also a soft phone, your mobile app that you're using, okay, and you have all three of those. If you just need to put it on Do Not Disturb on this one phone, and all three of them will not receive calls, okay? So if you have a hard phone and you press DND, it stops calls from coming to any of your extensions, all right? It'll go to voicemail, okay, but it won't ring any of your phones. Now, on your mobile app, on your soft phone, if you use Do Not Disturb there, it will only stop calls from ringing at your cell phone, not on your desk phones. And there's a reason for that, which we'll talk about in a moment. But I just want you to be aware that this Do Not Disturb is pretty powerful, okay, in its scope. So I'm going to turn it off there. Finally, let's look at the menu button. There's several things that can be done on the menu. First of all, if you need a status, this is very helpful for the IT team. You need to know your IP address of your phone. You can simply get it by pressing on the status button right there. This is your IP version 4 address, 192.168.35.41. So all you need to do is press on that status. That information's there. And then, of course, there's a lot of other information, status information there, but that's one thing that's really important. If you go into the basic button, there are several things you can do. One fun thing is you can change your wallpaper. So if I go here to the whoops, that's not the wallpaper I wanted. I want to get that wallpaper. Okay, so I can go to the wallpaper. Mine's kind of boring, so I want something new. I like that one. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now, if we look at my desktop, now I've got the mountain scene. Okay, so you know, that makes it kind of nice. Makes me feel a little, especially right now while I'm recording this, there's record heat wave happening on the west coast of the United States, and just thinking about that makes me hot. So anyway, there you go. That's how you control that. A couple other things you can do on the menu. I told you that the phones that end with the W have wireless. They have wireless Bluetooth, which you see here. And if I scroll up a little, you'll see Wi-Fi. So if you have a Bluetooth headset you would like to pair with this phone, simply come here, press Bluetooth on the left, select on right there. I'm not going to select it because I don't have a headset with me to pair right now. But then just follow the pairing procedure as you would on your cell phone, okay? And if you have a reason to use Wi-Fi, for example, you maybe take your phone from your office, which has a cable that you can plug into it, but you take it to your home and there's no place near where you want to use your phone that has a place for a cable, is all you have to do is to use Wi-Fi is click Wi-Fi and turn the Wi-Fi on. When you do that, it'll search for all the available networks and you select the network you want to use, put in your credentials, and you're off and running. Remember, if you do take your phone home, you will need to also have a power supply to plug in so it'll get electricity. Okay, so just remember that fact. Okay, so Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, it's done here. There's a lot more stuff you can do in the menu, but those are the things you need to know to survive in your day-to-day world of telecommunications, okay? So that said, I'm going to go ahead and move to part 2 of this training, where we're going to talk about the mobile app or the soft phone.